Hi everybody, this is Cheryl and welcome to Tipsy Tuesday. This week I'm going to talk about Thanksgiving. But basically what I'm going to do is tell you about what we do. Rather than to give you tips, I'm just going to tell you what we do. Now, I'm also going to give you some recipes. And the first recipe I'm going to give you is for no freeze ice cream, and I'm going to hold this up and then you can pause and write it down. Now if you'll notice, you can use any kind of milk and any kind of flavoring that you want with this. The main thing about this is you do not want to double the recipe. You want to use this recipe. Does make a small portion, you know, like a single size serving type thing. So you want to make sure that you do not double this. You want to make up a bunch of small batches and freeze them until you're ready for them, or each person can make their own. But do not double this recipe. Also, it's better to make the ice cream and then add something to it, like, you know, if you want to add fresh berries or crushed up cookies or whatever you want to put in it. But just make your ice cream and then, you know, do whatever you want with it after that. Now the next one, this one is actually using your leftovers. Let's see if I can. And this is actually using your actual leftovers. Now, we enjoy this recipe so much that we kind of developed our own recipe. And I'm going to hold that one up here for you. Let's see if I can. Okay, now with this one, we do use raw chicken, so that's why it takes longer. Now, it usually takes about an hour, but you can add time to it. You want to make sure your chicken is cooked in this recipe. Now, in this, we usually almost always make it in 9x13 pan. And this will make, I mean, it'll fill that pan up. But you can half this. Now, for us, if we half it, we do not use just one can of vegetables. We do use 2 cans of vegetables. But that depends. This is one of those recipes that you can add or take away. That's however you want to do it. It's one of those really great recipes. But this is very good. Now, a 9x13 will feed us twice. So that's one of those recipes that you can make it for dinner and then freeze the other half for another meal. Okay, so that's the recipes. Like I said, I'm going to focus on what we do for Thanksgiving. Now, we kind of make this a several day kind of activity thing rather than just focused on Thanksgiving Day. Now, over the years, that's kind of changed. Now that Chris is working, he almost always works on the Friday after. So we kind of changed things up a bit, and we kind of work around work schedules and that kind of stuff. But back when the kids were in school and, you know, that kind of thing, is when we all started these traditions. I'll call them traditions. Excuse me. Now, what we do is we started on Wednesday night. And on Wednesday, we would do everything we could, prepare everything we could. Deviled eggs, relish trays, veggie trays, cakes, pies, whatever desserts we were going to have. Anything that we could prepare the Wednesday night before, we would do that. And the whole reason is we didn't want to be in the kitchen all day long on Thanksgiving. We wanted to be able to spend time together. So we would make everything we could in advance and then do the main stuff on Thursday. And then Thursday night, we would start what we call our game time. And back when we started, We usually do it on Thursday night, and then it'd go over into Friday. And basically what it was when we first started was we did not have any electronics. No electronics were allowed. And we would play card games, board games, that kind of thing. And we'd focus totally on just spending time together playing old-fashioned board games. Now, over the years, we kind of changed that because we had gotten some games to where we could play them on like the Wii U or DVD games, that kind of stuff, where it was a family thing. So as long we'd allow electronics as long as it was for the family. It couldn't be individual games. Okay, we still stick to that. If it's an individual game, it's not allowed. Okay, so that, like I said, we'd start it Thursday night after dinner, and usually we'd have it on Friday. Now, Saturday, sometimes we would play games, but that was the day we usually prepared for Christmas. And we might set up the tree either Saturday or Sunday and start on if we were making gifts for each other, or if we were doing decorations, if we was making decorations, anything that had to do with preparations for Christmas. Sometimes we'd get our Advent all set up so that it would be all ready to go for when December 1st hit, that kind of thing. So the Saturday and Sunday was set aside for that time and preparation for Christmas. Now, something we did last year that we had not done before, but it actually turned out really nice and it was a lot of fun, was we had a different menu for Thanksgiving. Instead of the traditional Thanksgiving dinner, we actually had a Mexican menu theme. And it was actually a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it. And so, it was a nice change, and we had a lot of fun with it. So, you might try a different menu for Thanksgiving. Now, regardless of what we're doing and what we're serving and all that, when we sit down to have our dinner, we do three things actually. The first thing we do is everyone tells something that happened during that year that they're really, really grateful for. It might be a big event that happened that year, or something really special, like the year that the twins graduated from high school. That was like, I graduated from high school this year. That was their big event. They named their special thing that happened that year, something they're really grateful for. The second thing was kind of along the same lines, but it didn't necessarily have to be a special event. It could be just something they're very, very grateful for in general. And then, of course, we do our third thing, which is say our prayer. And we each say part of the prayer. It might start with Brandon, and he start the prayer, and then, he does his part, and then Angel, and then Chris, and then, and we go around the table and we say part of our prayer. So we make sure to do those three things. That shows gratitude, and, and then we do our prayer. So our main focus, regardless of what we do, is being together as a family and having fun as a family. So that's what we do. I'd like to see what you all do. Maybe you do something different. Put in the comments what you do for Thanksgiving. If there's something special that you do, I'd love to hear it. And you all have a nice day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.